BBC Hooniverse.
You're watching the TGM production.
Have you seen all the different coloured houses sitting by the sea? Yes, I have. It's called Tobermory. Well, it's Bangormory, but it's Tobermory. Hello. Today, the 20th of April at 7:01 AM, it was the 6am really, Bangormory returned to our TV screens. I've seen episode 1. It's fabulous! I will review the whole series on my YouTube channel, The Children's Hour, afterwards. Now, the reason why I mentioned Bangormory is because Bangormory is a children's show that I used to watch when I was a child. That and Me Too, both made by I think, if I'm not mistaken, both made by the same production company. And the boy that played PC Plum, I think, directed some episodes of Me Too. Now, the reason why we talk about that is because of the return of Bangormory and the success of Bluey and Big Lizard, the two shows I'm going to reference today. Bluey, Big Lizard, Hey Ducky are going to be and Waffle. The Waffle the Wonder Dog. They're 4 shows I want to mention. I'm going to call Bangormory a success because at the moment I think it will be a huge hit. I have got one grievance, but that I'll save that. The reason why I mention these children's shows is because if you remember, quite a while ago, we had the announcement of a brand new CBeebies Doctor Who spin-off, right? And then we had the announcement of which production company was getting the show. So now that we've got Bangormory back, how does that change how this spin-off's gonna go? Because I think that you have to look at the whole picture of what is CBeebies today. So, because they're still producing, so they'll be influenced by what are the audience watching. So, will we have music in Bangormory? Well, if you look at, I don't think there's music in Bluey, apart from the theme tune, obviously. There is no music in Big Lizard, but there is the stick song in Hey Ducky. Stick, 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 sticky, sticky, stick, 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 stick. That, yeah. Apparently played at Glastonbury. I don't know the whole facts on that one, right? So, out of the 3, the Waffle has it, because it's Waffle Doggy, Waffle Doggy, he's such a great dog, a great doggy, wah, wah, So, it was, I'm gonna hopefully get this right, but Emma Kennedy worked on Waffle. That's why I watched it, actually, because I was really intrigued to see, because I vaguely knew a bit about it, but it's aired on CBBC since, so I don't know what the target demographic is for Waffle. But if you look at those, right, and Bangormory was all about the music, right, but I think that if we're having a Doctor Who spin-off, I would say no to music, so I would say go down, because it's going to be animation, not live action, so I think art style-wise, if we're not using stop motion, so I would have said a Fifi and the Flower Tops type thing, if we're not doing that, then I would say that out of the one that's listed, I think Big Lizard is the direction we go with. I know that because it's not the same production company that's been making this spin-off that made Big Lizard, I do think they can sort of not copy the style, but just get inspiration from that to work out, well, why are the scenes, why the sets, why the sort of backgrounds are so beautiful? What makes that special? And what you do is you think, right, okay, so I'll take those elements. So I think the blueness of the floor in Big Lizard, which is like, it's almost like clay-like thing, but it's not. I think that would be a really interesting way of design for the TARDIS, because if you look at, I'm trying to look at an example. If you look at all the TARDISes you can buy in toy form, right? So such as this one, yes, obviously you would tinter down the blue, because I think that to get the best colour, the best version out of it needs a darker blue than that. Some of the TARDIS blues are slightly darker, but I think that you have to go way darker than this. But this is the example. So look at that, right? Merchandise-wise, that's a good size. So if you tone it down and make it more of a different colour, right? Different blue, like a darker blue, but make it more of a clay-like blue. I think that would be gorgeous because it'll add to this landscape. And I know that this show, this new CBB spin-off, isn't for me, and I am going to watch it because I want to watch every Doctor Who spin-off ever. Yeah. And we don't know what channel it'll actually air on because obviously CBC are airing a lot of CBB shows, so the age demographic never makes any sense to me anymore. But I don't know why I've got hold of the box, so but I think that you have to look at it in a sense of, would it work? So this is the correct size for a toy, right? This is a hover magnetic TARDIS, for anyone wondering. So, tinted down the blue, I think, if you make it more clay-like in the show, I don't know how you make a toy more clay-like if you're not making the toy out of clay. I think that would sort of add to it and sort of make it look better. I think as well, if you add Drashik to the show, yes, I know that Drashik's a classic Who villain, but because the toy... Hello, I'm Drashik! Because the toy is a puppet. I'm a puppet, not a muppet! Right? I think the kids would love that. So if you, you make it more cartoonish, less. So if you introduce Drashik as a brand new villain, right? You introduce Drashik, but you make him more cartoony. You make him more lovable. You make him less evil, right? And then you keep the design for the toy as a hand puppet, but you sort of make it more, I don't know, like fluffy, foamy, rather than this. Because this is an excellent toy, and I'm so glad when I found it, right? But I think that what needs to be improved, if you want to use Drashik further, because I do think, because it's a puppet, I think if we Drashik animate it like to the high waters so that it's cute rather than scary, and that it's more lovable, but it's like a Family Nest situation. So I think that we just have to take inspiration from other shows, but I think Drashik would be the key because of it being a puppet, as I've said. Right, merchandise-wise, that would work, and I think there's scope, because they've got the eyes, they've got the mouth, there's scope to make this more cuter. So I think that with this spin-off, I think Drashik is the best, because you sort of introducing Drashik as a new character, but you're also, at the end of the day, trying to generate this more cutie thing for the parents or other people that are watching this. So you're not changing the demographic of your show, you're just adding it so if other people are watching it that aren't children or haven't got kids, because it's in the World of Doctor Who, people are going to watch it regardless. I think that you need to just sort of add that element, add an element of past Who, but make it more cartoonish, and so that it's introducing it to new viewers, but it's a nod for the long-time viewer. Now, what we haven't had announced is much of the detail about what the show's about, in a sense of, is it, I don't know, we've not had any detail about it, so we don't know yet whether or not it's a brand new Doctor, a preschool-only Doctor. Will we find out who the Doctor is going to be for that series when the 16th Doctor is announced? Will they also do that? Or will it be Ncuti Gatwa? Will it be David Tennant? Will it be a past Doctor? Or will it be a current Doctor? What's the sort of landscape of that? Because of uncertainty in the Who universe, I think they'll hold off announcements until we know exactly what's going on within the Who universe. Which, personally, I think that that's a good idea, because you're not going to you're not gonna have to change it just in case everything dramatically changes, and that you can find out what the next showrunner wants if Russell T Davies decides to leave. I think composer, you need to get a composer in for this series. Murray Gold is my choice, but if Murray Gold doesn't want to do it, then I would approach Sega Akinolan, because I think that Sega Akinolan did an excellent job. But I do think there's some more memorable Murray Gold songs than there is Sega Akinolan. But I think that if Murray Gold doesn't want to do it and he wants to just focus on the main show, get Sega Akinolan in, because he did a smashing job, right? But I do think that Sega Akinolan should have continued so that he would have had those memorable songs. The reason why Murray Gold has those memorable songs because he did 9, 10, 11. He didn't do 9, 10, 11, 12. He then left for 13, came back for 14 and 15. So, because Sega Akinolan only had that one Doctor, you don't really have that chance to have anything uber memorable at that point because you've only started that journey. But I think that Murray Gold only got his memorable songs, in my opinion, by the time we got to Series 2 and the 10th Doctor, right? By the time we got to the 10th Doctor, and then the most memorable ones, like I Am the Doctor, is I Am the Doctor. Very poorly done. Let's try and tap it out, shall we? No, let's try and tap it out on this table. Didn't do a good job of that either, but I think that's the 10th Doctor, so I think that you have to give it time. So I think Sega Akinolan could be the choice for the programme, but I believe that Murray Gold's more likely to do it due to his current landscape in the Whoniverse. But Ben Foster could do it, the composer for Torchwood, so could be anyone. So that's my thoughts on the new preschool children's show. Well, the new TV show, children's spin-off, which no announcement has been made, no information has been made, but I think that when you look at the children's landscape now, especially for CBeebies, which is doing a lot better than Series C, I think you can see the direct elements that they should look at to go, well, this is how we make our spin-off better, because these are the popularity of the time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.